I am your host, Justin Legend Rodriguez, and with the co-host, corporate Ronald Anthony. All right, Ron, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Ron. I don't know why I'm corporate Ron. I'm not in the corporate world, but I guess. And yeah, welcome to episode 2 of The High Ground. This Star Wars Destiny podcast that we're doing pretty much out of boredom and because we like Star Wars.
And
And hope you guys, enjoyed the first episode. And we have a nice little show for you this week. Got nice little topics. Gonna be talking for a bit. And first thing I want to discuss is this past Sunday, which was August 6th. So whenever this goes up, this might be a few days or whatever. We had a monthly tournament at our locals, which is Cool Sub Games down in Hollywood, Florida. And our very own Justin entered, and I couldn't enter due to unforeseen circumstances. So Justin, how was your experience at the monthly? And was this experience better or just about the same as any other locals we've done?
well, definitely there were a lot more people that showed up on Sunday than they do every Wednesday night. Um,
Yeah, I saw that.
we had, I believe we had 13 people sign up and play, and for locals, I want to say we had maybe about a good 10 people. Um, on Sunday, what happened was it was a 4 round tournament, cut to top four, and then the top four people plays a best two out of three for prize. I'm not entirely sure what how they did that because I met somebody and he had questions about the game, and I was pretty much teaching him how to play and everything, and how to play against certain decks and how to play a deck. So I really wasn't paying too much attention about that. But my experience in the monthly was pretty good. It was my first monthly. We were in Orlando for one monthly, and then I was in Mexico for another one, so I wasn't able to uh, go to those. But it's whatever. Um,
So
but yeah, the monthly was good. It was definitely uh, you want to make zero mistakes because it's all you're competing for. I want to say maybe a quarter of a box if you top. Um,
yeah, because I think what it is they give out like a quarter of a box, and they also have Phasma and Best Defense promos that they give out too. Because when
yeah,
you enter, you get Guard and whatever else. I don't know. The participation promos aren't that spectacular, but you do get Phasma and Best Defense promos, which I
no,
think that's pretty
it
cool.
was that was last month's. Um, that was the previous
Well, last
monthly's
month,
support.
yeah, well, last month was Django, and it was Django and Electroshock last time. So for this
Um,
quarter, anyway, it's Best Defense. At least I believe it was. So.
well, actually, it was the Finn, the alternate art Finn,
Oh yeah, it was the Stormtrooper Bloody Finn, and yeah,
and
okay,
shield and some alternate shield tokens or something like that.
yeah. So yeah,
But yeah, it's it's a monthly. It was no room for mistakes. Everyone was trying to win, doing their best,
well,
and
obviously you're not gonna go in there to lose.
unless you're Jeremy.
Of course.
um, but yeah, my experience was actually pretty good. My round, I went 2-2, so I broke even. Um, my first two
You went
rounds.
even. You didn't top.
Yeah, no, I know I didn't tie. That's shocking, right? Um,
It's pretty shocking. You've been usually you top, but yeah. So tell us how your rounds were, what you play against, and how it went.
well, my first two rounds was again. Well, round one, where I went up against Norman. I played a few games against him, but outside the monthly, he's a really good. He's a good guy, a good player as well. He was playing FN. He's playing FN Royal Guard Baltique, and I was playing Papa Palpatine. Um,
Or
and our game was actually pretty extremely close. He I actually made the mistake of forgetting about I could Palpatine was at 12 health. Yeah, he was at 12 health, I believe, and he just needed three more to die. And Norman rolled out, and he got a 3 for 1, three melee for one resource, and then two on the vibro knucklers. And so I'm like, okay, I can block the three, and I'll be fine with the two. So I just played Force Illusion for my action, and I gave turn his action, and I completely forgot that for Vibro Knucklers, you can pay a resource to increase the value of whatever you're doing by one.
So he
So
beat you with Vibro Knucklers?
he got me with the Vibro Knucklers. So I completely whiffed that one. I completely forgot about that. So that was my mistake. But he's a good player overall. He did I think he placed fifth or sixth. I'm not entirely sure, but he did pretty good. My round two was against Lewis. That was my first time meeting him. He was playing Emo Kids, and that I have plenty of experience playing against that deck because both you and Jeremy played it. So I knew exactly what to do, and what happened was Anakin was at 1 health left, and I was at 6 health left. And Lewis rolls out Anakin, pulls out double special, and I'm like,
Ooh.
okay, so we're gonna get a draw, cause cause Lewis also had a Force Illusion on Anakin, so he could block the 1 damage. So he can hit me for the 3, block it with the Force Illusion, and then resolve the other special to kill me, and then he's gonna kill himself. But the last thing to happen is him hitting himself. So after he hits me for the 3 damage, after that resolves, then Anakin killed himself. So because it's like that, it resolves in that order. I ended up dying first before Anakin did, so we didn't die at the same time. So I ended up losing that game when I thought it was going to end up being in a draw. And I didn't draw I didn't draw any mind controls. I didn't draw any mitigation dice, anything like that. So that was also pretty unfortunate.
I think I hit the wrong game. You mean Mind Trick?
Yeah.
Mind Control is not a Destiny card. So.
Oh yeah, mind control is it's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Wrong game.
My bad.
The Yu-Gi-Oh podcast.
Yeah, not anymore. But I meant to say mind trick. I didn't have any mind tricks. I didn't have any mitigation in my hand. So just that was unfortunate. But it was still a good round. I don't know what he placed. My round 3 was up against Barbara. I'm pretty sure you know her. She was playing Han Rey, and I was able to kill Rey, and it was just a pain in the ass trying to kill Han because she was playing the Starship Graveyard Battlefield. So whenever I would make the second chance fall off, she would just claim and put another one on top of it. So
he wouldn't die. He would be like, "Oh, I got a second chance, and a third chance, and a fourth chance."
Yeah, she played second chance at least 4 times. So I was doing I was doing a lot of math and everything. So I believe at the second time I made it fall off, I had to do 7 damage total, and I ended up doing 5 after the second chance fell off. No, not 5. 4 after the second chance fell off, and then when she put it back on the third time, I had to do 9 because she kept giving him shields with ambush abilities. So I had to get over the shields and then do some additional damage to make up for it. So it was 7, and it was just a real difficult. It wasn't really difficult. It was just I had to be. I had to work hard, and I had. She actually got rid of both my Rise Agains with discards. I wasn't even able to play it. So when she put on the first Rise Again, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna play Premonitions. I'm gonna put So I put No Mercy in. I put No Mercy face down because I knew that card was gonna win me the game. I just had to wait for the perfect time to play it, and I rolled out. I was able to knock off two shields off a Han, shoot him for two with the force push. That puts him at 10, so that second chance heals him 5, and I had a 4 damage for one resource off Force Lightning, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna play Premonitions, resolve the No Mercy, resolving the Force Lightning die, paying the 1, and I'm gonna discard one card to make it exactly 5, so it'll be exactly game.
All right.
So I definitely had to work for it. She's an excellent player. Um, I love playing against her. She's always cool to hang out with and everything. And my round 4 was against Emo Kids again. His name was Jared. First time meeting him. That's actually the guy that I stayed at where I was sitting, so I could talk with him so he can get more insight on the game because I believe it was
Oh, they
his.
let Jared out of jail now.
Yeah, no, no, no. This one's a he's a good boy, Jared. I actually stayed behind at the table I was at, and me and him were talking. I believe this was like his second or third time playing the game. He entered the tournament just to get some experience, which is nothing wrong with that at all. Um,
No, you gotta get experience to have experience. So
yeah. So I was telling him, oh, he asked me for any changes he can make to his deck. I told him it's more of his play style. Whatever cards he feels most comfortable with. Like if I gave him my personal opinions of the deck, I gave him some cards I like, and then he took a look at my Palpatine deck. He really liked it. He took a look at the Java Unkar deck. He liked it, but I told him that I have to tweak it some more because it's not doing what I wanted to do.
it's garbage.
It's just I'm able to kill one character in that deck, but it's just not doing what I
It's not
wanted to do.
garbage. You just gotta fix it up.
Yeah.
It can. It just you really gotta work for it.
Um.
So overall, did you enjoy your experience at the monthly?
Yeah. I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. Definitely want to do it again. But I believe the monthlies before were on Saturdays, and I think that's a better time, like a better day for the people that go to Cool Stuff locally. Because on Sundays, Cool Stuff just has way too many things going on. They got the Magic Standard going on. They got a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament going on. They also have Pokemon going on at the same. They have
Yeah.
three things going on at the same time, and we
Yeah. And in
were
that store, trying to cramp it all together, yeah, that
yeah,
doesn't work.
and
So,
we
you know,
like
it's funny. You could drop, but like the people that they actually changed the day for didn't even come.
yeah.
So it was literally a complete waste of time to move it to. You could have had the same time just on Saturday, and more people probably would have came. But
Yeah, just adjust it. Like
because
I don't believe the day was an issue. I just believe the time because the monthlies were at what,
yeah,
noon, like noon or one
noon, one
o'clock.
o'clock, when most
Yeah.
people are at work or whatever.
So because I know you're at
Unless you had
work
that
and you
day
want to
off.
play,
Yeah. So, like,
but
but
I
it's whatever.
yeah. I mean, we had to use two tables, two halves of a table. So, but it's fine. No one was complaining. No one was upset or anything. But I had a good
Yeah,
time. I'm
just
pretty
like I want
sure.
more table space. Come on, man.
I'm pretty sure the other 12 people that were playing, had fun and everything. But yeah, I had a good time. I wish you and Jeremy could have gone, but you guys had
Yeah,
unforeseen
unforeseen
events.
circumstances where you had to
Yeah,
go, but it was all right. Like I wasn't bummed. I'm just like, it's fine. So I didn't even know what to enter with. I got like 3 decks that I could make. And I'm just like, what the hell do I do? But it's fine. Like I'll have a definite answer by Empire at War. So speaking of Palpatine, Justin,
hmm
I'm glad you're here. because I wanted to discuss Palpatine for a while. Because when I first saw him revealed for Sphere Rebellion, I was like, all right, he seems cool. Then I saw his character numbers, and I was like, oh great. So either you have to have him just by himself with 2 dice, or if you, for some insane reason, want to pair him with some non-unique character, there you go. You got 2 characters with just 2 dice, which is to me seems a little worse.
Yeah.
So, and you've been playing Palpatine since the set came out. So since you're here and you're an experienced Palpatine player, seeing as I've never played him and know nothing about how to make the galaxy great again, tell us, your experiences with Palpatine and why it can't seem to break that threshold of tier. Because for what I've seen, it's like a tier 2 1.5 deck. It just can't seem to get past
I agree with that.
that echelon, that glass ceiling being to tier 1, where all the other decks are. So, based on your experience, what you've seen, what's holding the deck back, and what do you think could make the deck better, if at all?
What holds the deck back is he has it's of course his cost 21-28. That's extremely expensive even for 15 health. You can give him 16 17 health and they'll still be expensive because we have decks Pomaz, Vader Raider, Vader, what's the other one, Jabba, uh, Emo
A
Kids,
lot of decks
a lot.
that do a lot of damage and mitigate too. Since he only has 2 dice, if you mitigate his dice, you're just sitting there like, okay, pass.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll
And
mitigate your dice, and then I'll go. Because if they get rid of your dice, you're pretty much just holding your hand in your face.
yeah, you're
Like
just
I am. Can't see because we don't do video, but then you'd be like, are you done yet? Because, I would like to play.
it's I mean it against 2 character decks, depending on what it is, Palpatine will do fine. It's just depending on the build. Palpatine should do average should be fine, but against like 3 character decks, like Phasma, Guava Trooper, Guava Guard, Soldier, whatever. What did I say? Phasma, Guava
Well,
Trooper,
it
or
depends on
whatever.
what her mood is that day. But,
Yeah, but against 3 character decks, it's gonna be a really tough time because especially if it's a rainbow deck with the 3 colors, because they have a lot more access. They have access to every single removal in the game.
Yeah.
2 color decks, blue especially, blue and I want to say red are the most annoying when it comes to removal because blue has cards like deflect. Like if I roll a 3 on my Palpatine die, I'm taking 2 damage. Cards like feel your anger, isolation, overconfidence.
Yeah, some of the best removal in the game comes from blue,
Yeah,
which is why I like blue a whole lot.
it's the only issue with Palpatine is against 3 against whatever 2 character decks, 3 character decks. 2 character decks is he can do okay with. It's
Yeah, it's
just
just a 3.
yeah, the 3 character decks are the most problematic because they have more access to removal. They have more health, significantly more health, and they have a lot more dice on the board, starting dice on the board than you do. Um,
Yeah, and not only that,
mhm.
is that with the Phasma deck, she's giving all the non-uniques Guardian. So if you do roll
Ex-
the 3, it's like, oh, the trooper I put shields on, it's going to absorb that 3, and you don't resolve the dice, you don't
yeah,
do the extra damage. Pretty much just, it was extra mitigation. So that's
exactly.
why the Phasma and Friends deck is one of the best decks of the format, just because it can, not resolve it like Garen used to do, but remove it because it was a typo or whatever.
Yeah, and
And just like, oh, I'll take the 3, and then you're just gonna sit there and take my dice now.
yeah. So you're essentially doing 2 things with one action. You're removing a die, and you're activating a character. So her ability alone is problematic. Um, so that's things that's just wrong with the deck. With my deck, I play 11 upgrades with 9 dice. The dice being 2 probes, 1 force throw, 2 push, 2 holocrons, and 2 lightnings. And the other 2 upgrades are going to be Force illusions. Everything else is control and either for control, and I have two cards that increase my damage output. And you've clearly know I do perfectly fine with Palpatine. That I've been topping almost every week. I'm just in a little drought season right now. Um, I guess everyone got tired of Palpatine, but I feel like for Palpatine to be
Seems
successful,
like it.
I just feel like for Palpatine to be successful, in a perfect opening hand against any deck, to be perfectly honest, would be Holocron, at least two upgrades, and the other two cards. I I would like to see either a Mind Trick or a Feel Your Anger. That would be
Yeah.
an ideal hand for me. Um,
In the perfect world.
yeah, in a perfect world,
In reality,
yeah.
you get all the cost 4 upgrades in your hand with no way of getting them out. Then you'll mulligan and get the exact same hand.
No, I'll mulligan. I'll get my holocron, and I'll get no upgrades. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Oh, and that too. That's even worse.
which
But
has
the one
happened.
thing, yeah, I've seen it, and the look in your face is just priceless. But in your deck specifically, because in a lot of the builds I've seen, they don't run this card. Now you will die, because you seem to be like the only Palatine player that I've seen in deck lists and games where you use that card. And I've seen you win with that card.
hmm
So, do you think that that card is most ideal in Palpatine, since you can pretty much turn the discard or the shields into even more damage? Or do
Yeah.
you think it's just a card that it just depends on the player?
Um. I think well, I believe this game alone. It depends on the player on how they want to build their deck and how they want to play everything out. Well, and it's also because like you said, you don't see any other Palpatine deck that run Now You Will Die. 9 times out of 10, you'll see a Palpatine deck that runs force speed and overconfidence and doubt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't run those cards. I don't I they're good cards to have. I just don't feel like that they're necessary because I feel like that's a waste of a turn for me. Um, but Now You Will Die. I love that card is so good because I could roll out Palpatine. Not even it doesn't even have to be Palpatine, but fuck it. It's let's say I roll out Palpatine. I have a two discard showing and a three gun. Okay, my opponent isolates the three gun, and his character only has let's say 4 health left. Okay, you took out my three gun, and he's not worried about the two discard because it's only going to be two damage, and he will survive the round. Um,
So he thinks.
or so he thinks. And Now You'll Die. What that card does, it says you can resolve one of your dice, um, as if it was showing melee damage, but it keeps its original value. So in my deck, I have cards. Like it can be a two disrupt, it can be two discard, two shields, resources. It can be whatever. It can be a blank. Um, I can resolve that die, treating it as melee damage, and then because I would like to resolve a Palpatine die. So let's say I resolve the Palpatine die. I'm doing minimum 2 damage. Actually, no, I'm doing 4 damage from resolving that one die by spending one resource because I'm doing the two that was on it, and then I'm doing two additional more damage because of Palpatine's ability. That card is so good because they don't see it coming. If they see damage, they're gonna want to get rid of the damage right away.
Yeah, if
Like,
they see shield or discard, they're like, whatever. If
yeah,
I can get rid of it,
they don't
sure. If
care.
not, whatever. It's only 2 damage, and they see that, it's like, oh, I just died, 4 damage. All right, cool.
Yeah, like
So it's like
you saw it in tournament one day. You saw it was Palpatine versus Palpatine.
yeah, it
Uh,
was a mirror.
it was a mirror match, and my opponent only had uh, coincidentally 4 health left, and I rolled out Palpatine. I rolled out a blank on the Mind Probe, a two discard on Palpatine's die, a two gun on Palpatine's die, and I rolled another blank. I don't remember what die it was, but it was another blank. And he goes, "Oh yeah, it was a 4 star. It was a 4 star and two Palpatine die." So he goes mind trick, and I just go, whatever. So I put the two discard by itself, and I put the rest of the two dice grouped together. And he goes, get rid of these two. I'm like, okay. And then right away, I just played Now You Will Die, and I got game. And then he read my card, and he was like, "Are you sure you can do this? Blah blah blah. You sure it doesn't have to have a melee side on the die?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's treating it as melee damage. I don't have to have melee as part of my die sides in order
Yeah.
to play it." So they don't see it coming. Uh, After the tournament and everything, he said he's gonna start looking into that card and see if he can find space to put it in, because he absolutely did not see that coming. He thought he was safe for another round because my Palpatine was also close to death as well, and he hadn't didn't roll out yet. So because of that little tech, like that personal tech that I put in, um, that card is one of my favorites out of the whole deck.
Yeah, it's really one of those clutch cards that that I've seen you use where you just kill someone, they don't even see it coming. So I like that tech anyway. So, and you know what? I'm glad that you brought up Force Speed, because speed is something that we're going to talk about next. Because I'm going to propose a question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Can slower decks compete in a fast format? And what I mean is decks that are not FN decks and that are not POMAS decks or any of the action chain decks. Decks like Base Snap, or decks like Qui-Gon Ray, which have action chain but not as fast.
Mm-hmm.
Those decks, can they survive and compete in a format where you can just die?
Um, I believe so. It's just I think what the decks that are trying to do, like a base snap, they can definitely compete in that because they have access to wingman and hit and run. So if you just play if you give either base or snap wingman and then you go hit and run, you're activating both your characters. You're getting all your dice out, with one action. Um, so that's pretty fast. You also have access to a lot of the guns. You have access to planetary uprising, so you're able to put damage out there quickly. And then with Snap's ability, you just disrupt their money, and all they have to do is keep passing because they can't claim the battlefield. And so you can just
Yeah,
freely,
because
yeah, you can freely do whatever it is you want to take away their money. And then when you're done with your shenanigans, you just go ahead and claim, and you just do the same thing next round. Um, Decks like what was it, Qui Gon Ray, and who else?
Qui-Gon Ray, mill decks, decks that you don't really see play that are considered slower, just because they can't action cheat, or they don't have like Poe where he just explodes on you.
Um, I believe if you're playing a deck that's like Mill or Qui Gon Ray, or like something that's not fast and they don't have access to cheating abilities, uh, like Poe and Maz, or even FN or Phasma. Um, I believe mitigation will be your best friend. You want to focus on your deck to be more controlly before you want to do anything. Like you want to get your upgrades out first, and then the rest of your deck should be like control. Like depending on the colors, electroshock. He doesn't like you. Cat and mouse. Mind tricks. All that good stuff. I believe
Yeah, because like
if you're able to mitigate the dice, and you're able to do what you want your deck to do, you'll be fine.
like it's why I like the Phasma deck so much, because it's not the fastest deck in the world. It's a 3 character deck, but the thing with that is that it's it's really becoming a top tier deck, and it's not doesn't have any tricks, doesn't have any real action cheating. The only thing that I've actually seen that is like a trick is bait and switch, because like,
I
oh,
love that
I got a
card.
bunch of damage, like modifiers and like crap damage, and this Phasma has a resource side. Oh, fan switch, ambush, switch it to two gun, do 10 damage, I win. So
Palpatine has 15,
I
sir.
don't know, like yeah, or whatever, wherever amount of damage gets out there. I mean, yeah, I do think that the quote unquote slower decks, or the decks that aren't as fast, don't have a lot of chain. They can compete. It's just, people would rather, like, they seem to, like, have that, for me, tunnel vision where it's like, oh, if I'm not playing Pomaz, or if I'm not getting 6 actions per turn with, a cheating deck, then it's not going to work. Because I've tested a lot of decks, like, in real life and on tabletop. And even though some of these decks aren't, as fast, they still do compete because, like you said, I get upgrades out, and I able to mitigate, their dice. So even if they do cheat out those 6 actions or just do all this crap, I still have a chance. So, like, I do think slower decks do have a place. And when Empire War comes out, I do think, some other decks will have their place, which is, again, pretty funny on the Master of Segways because we're actually going to be talking about Empire War for a little bit. So, Empire War, they've revealed, like, 20% of the set so far.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just teasing everybody. It's like, oh, look, we got support for this. Ooh, we got support for this. Okay. Oh, we have Chance Q. And it's like, wow, Chance Q. What are the odds? So we're not going to go over all the cards because, to be quite honest, not all of them deserve to be talked to. But Justin, from what we've seen so far, what do you think are some of the better cards that have been revealed, and what do you expect them to show, in the coming weeks as we get closer to pre-release?
As for cards they already revealed, Sienna Ray, a Death Pilot, the 811 9 health character, her, she I she's the, I don't know if you know this, but she's the protagonist for Battlefront 2. That's,
Battlefront 2.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
coming out soon. So when I
She's our
saw
main character.
her, I was like, "What? I'm playing her right away." Um, because she looks badass in the game, and I like her sides on her character, and I like her action ability. Her action is you can spend 2 resources to ready a vehicle. Um, I think
That's pretty
that's,
good because
yeah,
playing a vehicle deck.
and with she has a 1 gun, she has a +2 gun, 1 disrupt, 2 resource sides, and a blank. And she's 811 for 2 dice. She's 11 for 2 dice. So with the deck that I'm 100% going to be making when this set comes out is going to be Sienna Ray Elite, Elite Balatique, and if they come out with a better non-unique cost 7 or cost 8 character that's guns, that's villains, I'm definitely gonna be playing that character. But for now, either Stormtrooper or Night Sister looks pretty good for me right now. And I'm just gonna load it up with a bunch of guns and primarily vehicles. Um,
Yeah.
I still want to see what battlefields they have coming out uh, for this set, because I don't think they revealed any yet, right?
Well, they've revealed one, and if you are running vehicles, to be honest, it's I don't remember the name of it. The name doesn't really matter, but it's the battlefield where, like, if you control it, the first vehicle you play costs 1 less. So it's a battlefield that only works for you, and it doesn't work for your opponent unless they're playing vehicles. So for your deck, because you're gonna be playing, I would assume you're gonna be playing, ATSTs, Slave One, the AT PT, or
Oh, the
that other
the
walk that
AT
they revealed.
ATDP.
With that battlefield, it makes them all 1 less. So
Yeah.
DP, yeah, PT, DP, whatever. So that becomes like a 2. I think it's a cost 2, so it becomes a 2. Slay 1 becomes a 3, and if you ramp them enough, ATSC's 5. So that's the battlefield that, if you are playing any kind of vehicle support deck, that's the battlefield you're gonna have, because Docking Bay sucks.
Yeah,
Because I don't
Docking
know if you
Bay
know,
is poop.
Docking, like, because I'm also tinkering with a vehicle ramp deck, and tabletop only has friggin' Docking Bay, and Docking Bay is pretty garbage because if I don't claim it and they do, I'm just like, great. I could have easily gotten out this Slave 1, but now I can't, or I
Yep.
can't get out this other vehicle. And for me, the Thrawn is like that's the character that I am gunning for the most in this set so far,
Thrawn.
because I've been tinkering with
Yeah.
the Unkar Thrawn vehicle ram deck. I've been changing stuff in and out of it. It is so good. Getting out a turn one ATST is awesome
Yeah.
because he's got amazing sides. He has a one focus, a two focus, a disrupt, two resources, and a shield and a blank. And his effect is also pretty good. When I activate him, I call a cost for a card. I see your hand, and I get rid of a card with that cost. So it's like, oh, okay,
Oh, that's
roll
pretty
out,
good.
get whatever. Oh, I see your hand. I'll get rid of a cost one, and then see your hand. Oh, you have that removal. Bye. You have those high cost cards. Oh, I'll unguard and get rid of the high cost cards. So I'm getting rid of your removal and your low cost cards. So that unguard, when he rolls out and I do his shenanigans, I get a lot more value out of your card. Because when I was playing with them, I'm having people discard their high cost cards they would play. Because like I don't want to, this guy take out my handcrafted light bow or my mind probe and getting all this
Yeah, you don't want to give your
value.
opponent resources.
Yeah, because if I hit one of those, I'm pretty much guaranteed a vehicle, at
Yeah,
least a slave one.
for
So
sure.
yeah, so Thrawn is and that vehicle battlefield, like that has to go in. And the only other, what you call it, villain vehicle they revealed is the ATDP. They haven't revealed any other like big vehicles for villains. It's mostly heroes,
I am
which I do think.
praying they come out with an AT-AT. I love
Oh, an
AT-ATs.
AT. Watch it be a cost A though. He's like
I don't care
the
how
most
much.
expensive
I
vehicle.
don't care how much it costs. I'm playing two. I'm playing that as a two of. I love AT-ATs. I'll keep it in my wallet.
Keep your wallet. He's like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's an AT-AT.
I'm gonna
Nothing
buy
to
one
worry
one day.
about. Yeah, so like Thrawn for me is the car I'm looking for. I don't care about anything else unless they make more vehicles. Because from what I've saw vehicles, which friggin' Hera from Rebels, from Star Wars Rebels, is
Yeah,
like her sides are okay, but her special is just what you're going to be going for. Play a vehicle for free, and
yeah.
it returns your hand at the end of the turn. So it's like, oh, I'll play a free Millennium Falcon, or a free Black One, or a free, U Wing or Y Wing, and it's like, oh, returns to my hand, gets to use it later, or I
Oh,
can hard play it later.
yeah.
So
You just reminded me. Y Wing. That card alone makes me want to take a look at the heroes and see if I come up with anything cute because the Y Wing ability is just so good. It's you have to deal either a combination of 4 damage or lose 4 resources, whatever you want to do. That that is so good. Imagine
and you
having
can do
two.
like half and half or whatever. Like that is really amazing.
No,
So it's like, oh,
I think they have to actually have resources for the Y Wing ability
yeah,
because let me take a look at the card real quick. Because the way they worded it, I think they actually have to have it says force an opponent to deal damage to the characters distributed as they wish or lose resources. Yeah, until they have dealt and lost a combined total of 4. So they have to have at least 4 resources. Um,
yeah, because like when I first saw it, I was afraid it was like abandon all hope, where it's like, oh, I have no resource. I can just shoot resources.
yeah,
Here from where it's worded, because it's worded differently, they have to have
yeah,
like if they only have like 2 resources. Yeah, so you're taking 2 damage. Or if you don't have any resources,
yeah. You're doing
that's
four
four
damage
damage.
to somebody.
Unless they rule it differently, because we don't know how they're gonna rule that. So yeah, Y Wing is pretty good. That I keep calling it Relentless Pursuit because that's what it's called. It's the red hero event where you roll the vehicle dice, and
Oh,
if it's a blank, remove the vehicle.
reckless entry.
I keep
Re-
there we go,
re-
reckless entry. So
reckless re-entry. I'm sorry.
reckless re-entry, like that to me is a staple of two for a hero vehicle deck. Because it's like, oh, I have a Millennium Falcon or a Y Wing or U Wing. Oh, I'll use this, roll on the dice, because those vehicles, aside from the Y Wing, don't have blanks, so I'm guaranteed something.
I was just about
And
to
it's
ask you
like,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
that's
resolve whatever. And then since I didn't activate the vehicle, activate it and just do more shenanigans. So yeah, and then K2SO I think is pretty hilarious.
Oh,
Like you got
actually, I don't mean to cut you off there, but actually, I'm looking at the card right now, and it says reckless reentry. It says choose a die on one of your vehicles in play and roll it into your pool. Then discard that vehicle if its die just rolled a blank. So after you play this card and you choose a die on the Millennium Falcon, you roll whatever, and you choose to resolve it. You can react. You can roll it into your pool again because you're not activating the vehicle. You're just rolling the die into your pool.
Justin, I just said that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I literally just said not work for, but I pretty much just said that. But yeah, like that's the point that I'm trying to make. Is that
I just realized that right now. Holy shit, that's actually pretty fucking good.
yeah. And then, like I was saying, K2SO is pretty good too.
Yeah, when I saw K2SU, I said he's good. He's gonna be good.
He got solid die size. For me, when I first saw him, I just read his effect. I'm just like, oh, an upgrade costs 3 more. Great. But then his effect is like, oh, when he gets a first upgrade or weapon, he gets ready.
Yeah.
And I saw the die size. I'm just like, solid melee sides, the discard side, and all that stuff. Because the one thing that I've been wanting is to be able to. It's a trap for melee. The problem is all the red hero characters have range. So
Yep.
with K2SO, it's like I'm playing against a melee deck. Oh, I can change all of his die sides to melee and smack you for insane amount of damage. And not at his discard side, I think you can pair him up with Akbar, which I think would be a good combination, and make Commando Raid, you know, a great card. Making that discard 3 and draw a card, which I think Commando Raid's a great card. So I think K2SO is pretty good too. Excuse me. Like there's a rookie pilot. If I pull him from my box, I am ripping him in half. That card is terrible. That is like the worst card they've revealed. Like, get this garbage out of here. Someone's like, "Oh, I can make it work." Good luck. But
Another
yeah.
interesting that card that they revealed from Empire at War is General Hux. He
Oh,
has
Hux.
yeah, Hux has
He's awesome.
Jabba cost 1114. I believe he's 11 health, same as Jabba. Um, Let me look at the card. Yeah, he's 11 health. He has Jabba's cost. One gun, two focus, one discard, one resource, and a special. The special is play a red event from your hand, decreasing its cost by one for each character you have. Um, that ability sounds
Amazing.
amazing. Yeah, and
It is.
his sides are good. I believe it's just like Krennic's, but they're not as powerful as Krennic's sides, but they're still pretty good.
Yeah, because something I thought of when I saw it, like, oh, you do elite Hux and like 2 non-uniques, like a Type Pilot and like a Stormtrooper,
Oh, that sounds
and
like a
you
good
pretty
deck.
much have a 2-cost endless ranks. Like he makes endless ranks at 2 costs.
Yeah,
So it's like, oh, you
that
killed
sounds
my
pretty
Type
good.
Pilot. 2-cost endless ranks. Look at that. So is it? It says the first red event, right?
I no, it's from his special side. You play a red event from your hand, decreasing its cost by one for each
Oh,
character
it's
you have.
yeah, that's right. I
Yeah.
thought it was the action. But
Oh, if it was
yeah,
an
so it's even
action,
better.
he's
So it's like,
instantly
oh,
being played by everybody.
oh, that's so. I think Elite Hux and like the Stormtrooper and the Pilot would be good.
That sounds like a fun deck to
Yeah, I
play.
think Hux is gonna be Red Jabba pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they also reveal a bunch of like they're trying to push Hero Mill with some of these new cards like Secret Mission, where it's like, oh, you choose a color, mill top card of the deck, and if it was that color, you get a resource. So
Yeah.
they are really pushing for Hero Mill. A lot of the other cards that they revealed aren't spectacular, but I think Chance Cube is pretty funny.
Yeah, Chance Cube's hilarious. When I read it, I was like, "What, man? No one's gonna play this card. That's too much of a
Oh, they
trolley
will.
card."
Will definitely play that card. So yeah, because like it's Waddle holding a Chance Cube.
Oh, wait, it's a Cloud
So
Zero upgrade. I'm sorry, I thought you had to
yeah,
like pay one for it or something. Okay, then never mind.
yeah,
Um,
it's a cost 0, and just like Chance, you have a 50-50 chance of actually hitting something
yeah,
because you have to pay a resource to keep the upgrade, and if you hit a blank, you just -1. So but if you hit the 2 or 3, it's like, oh look at me, I just clutched. I'm such a
Yeah,
great player.
getting two resources or even three resources is amazing, especially in a vehicle heavy. Wait, is it neutral? Yeah, it's neutral.
I think it's neutral. Yeah. I think it's
Especially in a vehicle heavy meta that's soon to be, resources is definitely going to be a thing. Um,
oh yeah, yeah, and that's just what they revealed so far. And that's like 20% of the set. So and it's
yeah,
like I'm waiting to see like what blue characters besides Mace Windu, which Mace Windu, enough said. Like if you look at him, he's just
yeah,
he'll be better instantly. Like having a two melee, and a 4-for-1, and his ability to kill very weak characters, it's ridiculous. And Master of the Council, right, is also
that's
amazing. All his
yeah,
different sides, and exhausting that, paying 2 resources to like ready a character. God, like Mace Windu is gonna be Mace Maz or Palpatine, Mace Padawan is gonna be good. I gotta test out one of those. So, and not only that, like I think like in September is the rumored like pre-release and like when the set comes out. So, or October. So
oh,
hopefully we'll see like other like good blue characters because there's not a whole lot of villain stuff aside from Hux and like Battlefront 2 main character.
yeah.
But this is going to lead to our final topic of today is what will the meta be post EAW, post Empire War? So Justin, the question's for you. What do you think the meta is going to be when the set's revealed and we actually get to play with these cards?
I believe the metas. I believe it's still 100%. I am positive about this deck being still a meta Pomaz because Maz because all these vehicles coming out and cards with just Y wing alone and resolving the post special um,
Yeah.
on it's just Poe being Poe is just ridiculous, especially in a vehicle format. Another
Yeah,
one.
but let me cut you off. But in that deck, the thing that the Pomaz player is gonna have to decide is like, okay, I got more vehicles. What do I put in? Because you're always gonna play Falcon, Launch Bay, and friggin' U-wing, but it's like, oh, I want to use Y-wing, I want to use Ghost, I want to use these other good hero vehicles. But then when you start putting so many vehicles in the deck, it's like, okay, now I'm really relying on post special, and if he dies and I can't do anything, I'm stuck with all these vehicles. So maybe we'll see Pomaz, transition to a vehicle ramp deck, maybe, where he's
Maybe.
also the player vehicles aside from just dumping them. So, because the thing that I'm most afraid of with this is that if the meta is almost, if not exactly the same, where it's really fast as it is, unless they reveal in the rest of the set fast ways to get the vehicles out, vehicle decks won't survive because by the time you get a good vehicle out, Pomaz will already have killed you, and like Han Ray will have already done 6 actions and did their shenanigans. So
Yeah.
hopefully that fear doesn't come to life. So yeah, I completely agree. I think the meta might stay the same, but then again, we're only going by what we've seen so far, so we have no idea what the rest of the it is. It might completely change the meta, but then again, we're gonna make a whole podcast dedicated to Empire War once the whole set actually comes out. So, but I do think vehicles will have some sort of placement in the meta. ATST turn 1. When people see that, they'll be like, "What is going on here?" I'm
uh,
hitting you for 5 damage. You're done. Yeah, Unguard
another
Thrawn, I believe.
yeah, Thrawn on card is definitely gonna be a deck.
Yeah, once I perfect the build and
Yeah.
the rest of the set, because
Um,
that vehicle battlefield is just gonna make the deck so much better.
another. It's not. I don't know if it's. I'm not. It's not a deck per se. It's more of a character. A character that I believe 100% is that's going to be making a comeback is going to be General Veers.
Oh yeah,
Because of his action ability, remove one of his die to turn any of your support dice, also known as vehicles, to any side that you
oh
want.
yeah. What are
So
his numbers again? Are they
uh,
the same It's like what 9-12 or something.
No, his health is 9, and he has Jabba's cost 11-14.
Oh, okay. So you can do elite him and elite Battlefront character.
I
So
can, I
I'm,
can.
I'm not gonna remember her name, so I'm gonna keep calling her Battlefront character.
I
So
just
I don't remember her name. So
because this format's going to be very vehicle heavy. He's going to 100% be making a return, and he's going to be really
yeah, people
popular.
will actually use his effect.
Yeah. And plus, he has great sides. A 1 gun, 2 gun, plus 2 gun, shield, resource, blank. Those are pretty solid dice. Um, but as for right now, I think it's too early to call to see how the meta
Yeah,
is.
we're
And
just going
it's
by
yeah, we're just going by what's revealed so far. I believe by the
we're just going by
time
what we've seen so far. So
I believe by the time we do like a sneak peek event, we'll have more of an idea and a lot more. I think a good 80% of the set was revealed by that time for Spirit.
I know the whole set by sneak peek. So
Yeah. Oh, okay. So then definitely by sneak peek we'll be able to predict what's going to be good, for sure.
we'll have the set. We'll have a hands on with the set a little bit. So
And
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So
Mace Windu too.
uh,
Haley
uh,
Meadow
definitely for that.
for
That's
sure.
that's a given. 100%. Um,
Yeah, like make heroes great again.
no, let's not make heroes great again. Uh,
Yeah, but heroes really need. I feel like heroes like this has to be the set for heroes to be huge because it's mostly villain decks aside from like Pomaz and Hanrei. So hopefully Mace decks and Hera vehicle decks will have a big placement in the meta. So
yeah, for sure.
there you go. Oh, and my light just went out, which is fine.
Oh, get good,
So
bro. Get paid that electric bill.
yeah, now that I accidentally hit my light switch, it's right here, so my arm hit it. But we don't have any visual, just audio, so you can't actually see it. So so I think that about covers it for this episode of the High Ground Star Wars SC podcast. I want to say thanks to Justin for, of course, being here, as we'll probably be the two mainstays. Jeremy was in the first one, but
Yeah.
yeah, he doesn't like to talk a whole lot. So, but in the future we'll have other players, other people's opinions and whatnot. So
Definitely,
so
definitely.
yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And stay tuned for future episodes. I'm Ron, and of course this is Justin. And we'll see you guys later. And make sure you keep the high ground.
Always keep the high ground. All right, guys. I'll see you later.